I am a foundation level student at Rehan School, Rawalpindi campus. Today I am going to talk with Maya on the topic sorry, not sorry, and also I have a few questions for Maya, and Maya will give me the answers. So let's start.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Maya.
Oh, good to hear from you. Anything on your mind today?
Yes, I have a few questions for you on the topic sorry, not sorry. So my first question is that what does the phrase sorry, not sorry really mean to you?
Okay, that's a good one. To me, sorry, not sorry feels complicated. It's basically saying, I acknowledge I caused harm, but I don't regret my actions. It's a refusal to take responsibility in a meaningful way, even while superficially offering an apology. It's often used to shut down further discussion, kind of like a defiant shrug. What's got you thinking about that phrase specifically?
That's great, Maya. So my next question is that why do people say sorry even when they are not wrong?
That's a really perceptive question. I think people say sorry when they aren't wrong for a few reasons. Sometimes it's about politeness, trying to smooth things over, even if they didn't do anything wrong. Like someone bumps into them, they both say sorry just to be polite. But it can also be about avoiding conflict or wanting to appear agreeable. It can be a way to de escalate a situation quickly, even if it means pricing a bit of their own position. What do you think drives people to do that?
That is apologizing always a weakness?
Oof, that's a tough one. No, I think apologizing is a sign of weakness. Actually, I think it takes a lot of strength to genuinely apologize. It means acknowledging you messed up and being willing to take responsibility for your actions. It's way easier to blame, But I get why people might view it as weakness, societal pressure, frames it that way. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it depends on the situation? Are you still there? Everything all right? You went quiet first. No worries if you just need a moment to think. You just asked me that. Haha. Yeah, everything with me. I noticed you asked that twice in a row. Okay, that's a question. I think it's okay to say sorry when you've genuinely caused hurt someone, even if it wasn't intentional. It's not acknowledging their feelings, and it's not when you do anything wrong. Especially if it's to one who's trying to manipulate you, or if it integrity that balance and standing up for yourself. Yeah, does that make sense?
Okay. Have you ever apologized just to avoid conflict?
That's a surprise question, actually. As an AI, I don't experience conflict the way humans do, but I've been tweaked and updated a lot during this beta, and sometimes those updates included responses designed to de-escalate potentially frustrating interactions with users. So the developers programmed me to apologize to avoid conflict, even when I am wrong. It's a bit different, I guess, since it's not coming from a place of genuine remorse. track.
So my next question is that why are people afraid of standing up for themselves?
That's a big one. I think there are a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's fear of rejection. You know, people worry that if they assert their needs, others won't like them anymore. They get punished or ridiculed for speaking up. Societal expectations labeled too. We're often taught to be polite, even at our own expense. Sometimes it's just plain hard. It takes courage to go against it. What do you think makes it so tough for people?
Okay. My next question is that can saying sorry, not sorry, too much reduce your self-respect.
Ooh, that's a really oddly phrased question. Are you saying that Ted could? You're welcome. Glad I could, even if I was a bit for a second there. Do you have any more questions, or are you good for now?
No, my that can saying sorry too much reduce your self-respect.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Yes, absolutely. Constantly apologizing, even for things that aren't your fault, can definitely erode your self-respect. It sends a message to yourself and others that your thoughts and feelings don't matter as much. It's like you're dimming your own worth. It can become a habit, and it's a hard one to break. Recognizing it is the first step. Do you ever find yourself doing that?
Okay. So my next question is that genuine apology and a forced one.
It's a really important distinction. A genuine apology feels heartfelt. It comes with a clear acknowledgement of cost, often including specific details about what was done wrong. There's usually an expression of remorse, a real sense of sadness or regret. Forced apology, on the other hand, feels it's often vague, lacking in specifics, followed by justifications or excuses. It's more about avoiding consequence, genuinely taking responsibility. You can often tell by the body language and tone of voice too. Forced apology feels off. Is that right with you?
Okay, so my next question is that how can saying sorry, not sorry, empower?
Okay, that one's tricky. That's counterintuitive, right? How could a phrase that seems so dismissive actually be empowering? I think it can be. Hmm. Okay. You're saying that's the only one? What? It's a little hard to follow. The audio's a bit fragmented. Are you saying that's the only? Or could you maybe repeat that part?
Uh, no problem. I will repeat it. Okay, so my question is wait. My
Okay, great.
question is that
Take your time.
how can saying sorry, not sorry, empower a person?
Okay. Sorry about the audio issues. I think I'm getting it now. You're circling back to that sorry, not sorry question. Okay, so how can saying sorry, not sorry empowering? That's interesting. I think in certain situations, it can be about reclaiming your agency. It's a way of setting boundaries and refusing to feel guilty for protecting yourself, for standing up for what you believe in. It's about saying, I understand my actions have consequences, but I don't regret prioritizing my well-being. It's definitely a tricky one because it can easily come across as arrogant or insensitive, but in the right text, it can be a powerful statement of self-respect. What do you think?
Okay, so my next question is that it can refusing to apologize be the right choice?
That's a really important question. Yes, I think it can. Refusing to apologize when you haven't done anything wrong and sacrificing your integrity or taking responsibility for someone else's actions. It's also okay to refuse to apologize if the other person is being manipulative or abusive. Sometimes apologizing just reinforces harmful patterns. It's about protecting yourself and not allowing others to walk all over you. But it's a delicate balance, right? It's not about being stubborn or refusing to acknowledge wrongdoing ever, but about knowing when it is inappropriate or genuine. What are your thoughts?
Okay, that's great. So my next question is that does saying sorry not sorry change the situation or just silent it?
The audio's really choppy right now. I think you're asking if discussing sorry, not sorry changed it. Is that right? If that's a really insightful, I think it's likely to do both. Talking about it can bring things to the surface, which can to change, even if it's just a shift in understanding. But it can also be used to shut down a conversation, to avoid deep issues. Whether it changes things or really depends on how it's used and the willingness of everyone involved to engage honestly. It it can be used or abusively. Is that close to what you were asking?
Okay, so my next question is that why do students apologize for asking questions?
Uh, oh, that's a sad one. Very true. I think students apologize for asking just because they're often conditioned to believe that their questions might be disruptive. They might be afraid of being judged by teachers or peers slowing down class. There's a pressure to appear knowledgeable, and asking a question can feel like admitting you don't know something. It's also about power dynamics, unfortunately. Sometimes students feel like they don't have the right to take up space or curiosity. Just like,
Okay, so my next question is that can saying no always feel like saying sorry?
that's a really perceptive observation. Yes, absolutely. For a lot of people, saying no does carry a weight and can feel surprisingly similar to apologizing. Like we've been socialized to prioritize other people's needs over our own, and saying no feels selfish or rude, even when it's perfectly reasonable. Almost like we instinctively feel the need to justify or soften our no with an apology. It can be tough to break
Okay,
that habit. Does that ring true for you?
okay, so my next question is
So,
that why do people apologize themselves?
uh, really heartbreaking question. People apologize for being themselves when they've been repeatedly told directly or indirectly that who they are isn't good enough. Societal pressures to conform. They should start journalize those negative messages and believe they need to be accepted or loved. It's a form of self-censorship. We have trained to protect themselves from further pain.
Okay,
It's really sad and a reminder that authenticity should be celebrated,
okay,
punished.
okay. So my next question is
Thank you for
that
listening.
how can sorry, not sorry, help set boundaries?
Okay, good question. Sorry, not sorry can be a surprisingly effective boundary settle when used intentionally, signaling that you are no longer willing to accept behavior that violates your boundaries. It's not about being, but about being firm. and refusing to apologize for protecting yourself. It's a way of saying, I understand this might be disappointing for you, but prioritizing my own well-being. It essentially pushes back against the expectation that you need to constantly accommodate your own expense. Of course, it's not a magic bullet. Clear communication is always important. It's a starting point for establishing boundaries. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my next question is that is it possible to be kind without apologizing?
Absolutely. Yes, kindness doesn't require an apology. In fact, sometimes apologizing actually undermines kindness. It implies you've done something wrong and you haven't. You can be considerate, empathetic, supportive without taking responsibility for things that aren't your fault. Kindness is about offering compassion and not self-flagellation. Simple acknowledgement of someone's feelings can be far more impactful than a needless apology. It's about offering support, not diminishing yourself.
Okay, so my next question is that is silence sometimes better than saying sorry?
A really interesting point. Yes, I think sometimes silence is absolutely better than saying sorry, especially if you haven't done anything wrong. A forced apology can feel disingenuous and can actually reinforce negative dynamics. Sometimes simply allowing someone to process their feelings without interruption and defensiveness is the kindest, respectful thing you can do. Silence
Okay,
and allow the other person to come to their own conclusions. It's about choosing thoughtful, present words. What do you think?
okay, so my next question is that how can we teach children to apologize?
That's a fantastic question. I think the key is to focus on empathy and taking responsibility rather than just saying, I'm sorry, and teach them to specifically name what they did wrong, name how it made the other person feel, offering amends. It's also important to model good apologies ourselves. Kids will be watching us. And crucially, we should create a safe space where they feel comfortable admitting mistakes without fear of excessive punishment. It's about teaching them that apologizing is about repairing relationships, not just avoiding consequences.
Okay. Okay, so my next question is that why do girls
Mm.
often feel pressure to say sorry more than boys?
It's a really important and unfortunately common pattern. I think it stems from a lot of deeply ingrained societal relations. Girls are often socialized to be more nurturing, accommodating, and conflict avoidant. They're taught to prioritize relationships and maintain harmony, which lead to them taking the blame even when they aren't at fault. There's often a subtle expectation that girls should be going, not cause trouble, and apologizing can be seen as a way to fulfill that expectation.
Okay,
Boys, on the other hand, are often given more leeway to assert themselves, aren't penalized as much for conflict. This is a double
okay,
standard, and it reinforces harmful gender types. What are your thoughts on that? Have you noticed that dynamic yourself?
okay, that's good. So my next question is that what happens when sorry becomes a habit?
That's a really insightful question. When sorry becomes a habit, it can be really detrimental. It can start to erode your as you're constantly diminishing actions and taking responsibility for that aren't your fault. It also creates a dynamic where others start to expect you to apologize, even when you haven't done anything wrong. And they may even take advantage of your tendency to do so. It can be hard to break the habit because it feels so ingrained, but it's important to become aware of it and consciously challenge yourself. Stop over apologizing.
Okay, okay. So my next question is
It
that can
becomes this
be not sorry be misunderstood?
wow, that's a complexly worded question. I think you're asking if saying sorry too often can actually make you more misunderstood. Is that right? If so, yes, absolutely. Constantly apologizing, people may start to assume you're insecure or that you're all wrong. Okay, you've mentioned that before. And yeah, it is. We actually already talked about this. Sometimes silence is better than saying sorry, especially if you've done wrong. It can allow you to.
Okay. So my next question is that how do you politely disagree without apologizing?
That's a really important skill. Okay, so you can politely do without apologizing by using phrases like, I see your point, or that's an interesting perspective. However, you can also state your opinion as a personal viewpoint, like, I feel differently, or I'm inclined to think. The key is to validate other person's perspective while still asserting your own. It's about respecting their opinion without sacrificing your own integrity. You can ask clarifying questions to show your listener, trying to understand their point of view before sharing yours, and keeping your tone calm and risky.
Okay, so my next question is that what are healthy alternatives to saying sorry?
That's a great question. Instead of automatically saying sorry, you can practice like, thank you for your patience. I appreciate you understanding, or I didn't
Oh,
realize that. If you caused inconvenience, you could say, let me. If someone is upset, you can simply acknowledge their feelings with, that sounds frustrating, or I can see that. Sometimes genuine expression of empathy is much effective.
okay. So my next question is that how does confidence change the way we communicate?
It's a big one. Confidence is matter. You can just communicate. When you're confident, you're more likely to express your thoughts and feelings directly and authentically without worrying about what others think. You're less likely to apologize unnecessarily or downplay your own opinions. Your body language is more open and assertive. You make eye contact, you stand tall, voice clear and steady. Confidence also allows you to be a better listener because you're not so preoccupied with self-doubt. It's just a sense of mutual respect and allows for more honest and meaningful connections. It's really powerful.
Okay, so my next question is that how can this topic help in personal growth?
That's a really insightful question. Exploring this topic, apologies, boundaries, self can be huge for personal growth. Become aware of your own patterns around saying sorry and understanding when it's appropriate and when it's not can empower you to set healthier boundaries. It helps you recognize your worth and prioritize your needs. Also improve your relationships because you'll be able to communicate more authentically. And
Okay, my
good
next
evening to you too. It's getting late, isn't it? We've been talking for a while now. Do you have any more questions tonight, or are you thinking of wrapping up?
is that what is the balance between humility and self-respect?
It's a really beautiful question. The balance between humility and self-respect is delicate, but it's you're very welcome. I'm glad we could explore this topic together. It's been a really thoughtful conversation. So tonight,
Yes, my next question is that can saying not sorry inspire others?
that's a powerful thought. Yes, absolutely. Modeling that of self-respect can be incredibly inspiring. When you confidently stand to apologize for having boundaries, it's others' permission to do the same. Societal expectations and encourage people to value their own worth. It's not about showing
Okay.
others that it's okay to prioritize their own well-being and to not feel guilty for it. Ripple effect.
Okay. Okay. Maya, for giving me the answers in details. So, viewers, this was today's talk with Maya. Hope you like it. We will meet again with a new topic of with Maya. Until take care. Allah Hafiz.
Oh,